Today's reading. I just want to disclaim something. I tried to bulk edit a bunch of my videos, just the videos that I've posted, not the live streams. And I messed with the caption. So the description of the videos. So just ignore it. I'm not going to go through 30 videos right now and make sure the captions look neat. I think most of the parts are still readable. And I also customize each description to whatever it is that I'm saying. So I can't, whatever. I just wanted to disclose that because it does look terrible to me. But anyway, let's get right into your reading. Wow. Again. Crazy. All right. I love it when that happens. Interesting. All right. So you've got a lot of repeating energy here. We have the Four of Discs as the opening message. And then as a follow-up, I will link the reading in which I got these same cards. Did this for reference last night. So very interesting that these two cards are falling out again. Loving how this is also an extension. Okay, I'll definitely have to link the reading that I did. This is an extension of the Five of Swords energy, in my opinion, in that in this moment, it feels to be further explaining whatever it is that is holding you back from feeling like this, feeling connected to your story, identified with your own process and how the things in your life that are for you take time, that you cannot have a bird's eye view on from the inside. So you just need to surrender and enjoy your life. That is pretty much the messaging here. Instead, however, or rather, the blockage to this frequency is, I feel like the Five of Swords is very important. I know it's not here, but I feel like it's important. And that Five of Swords energy has to do with this Four of Discs, feeling a sense of lack, like you do not, like you're not safe anywhere. And you have to make sure, like you're not safe, you're not loved, and you're the only one responsible for your safety. That, while it sounds very like grown up and adulty, and is, I don't know, it seems to be the natural journey through maturity to program your mind into being very harsh about the fact that nobody's going to look out for you, but you're the only one who's got your back, da-da-da-da-da. While at the end of the day, in like an extremely hostile situation, that is the truth. That's definitely not the truth for you, babe. You are definitely loved. Even if by like some strangers on the internet, on Reddit or whatever. That's the thing. That's the magic with how connected we are and how alive we are right now, the way that we're doing it. There's always someone that loves you. There's always someone that's going to be willing to show you kindness. On God, you will find at least one person alive that will give you unbridled, unconditional love, kindness, no judgment. The world has people like that, and you can reach them and they can reach you. Miracles can happen. So this frequency, I don't know, girl. I'm going to read the interpretation of it so we can unpack it further. I'm also reading from the inside. Duh. Cannot emphasize enough. I'm with you. Every single reading I do gives an aspect of myself or my living experience. Life is also so expansive. So there's always something I'm taking from readings that I do, always. And this is very me-coded. It's kind of annoying. Especially if life has proven to you that miracles can happen. You are protected. God is real. Love is real. You're the purity of you and the love and the divinity of you is what's in control of your story, Anyway, the interpretation of this card is feelings of scarcity that may manifest in reality. They won't, just by the way. They won't. But I do think that you need to look on. It could be a good idea. I don't know if it feels necessary, but it could be a good idea to look back on all the actions that you've taken that were based on this, in which you managed to manifest your reality. You know what I mean? Like the idea of how someone in my life is kind of struggling with money right now, but not really. It's more that they are stressed about and I'm sure this is everybody at this point, very stressed and affected by the rise in prices, the chaos of not just the marketplace, but like politics. Everything is like crashing, and there doesn't seem to be a real answer. There doesn't seem to be any like sense or a form of grip of like the material reality. So their response, everyone's response, is to hold on very tightly to everything that keeps them safe, as tightly as they can, as if it's just going to disappear overnight, right? And while that can happen, even if it does, you're still safe is the point, right? So we need to get to the bottom of that. What's stopping you from feeling that sensation? From what is this illusion, you know? Protectiveness, changing your attitude to money to a more open model, seeing it as a flow of energy and not a finite substance that you need to labor for and stress your ass off for and bleed and sacrifice your soul for. Something that I was reflecting on yesterday. And again, shout out to everybody who's plugged in right now. Intense shit. I don't understand how sensitive people in particular, and I know there are plenty who are plugged into corporate life, working, survival mode. Shout out to you guys. I don't understand how you're managing the energy of balancing survival, facing the matrix, and the sense of the void, the presence of God, the intensity of it all. You know, I don't understand how you're managing that. Capricorns, Virgos, shout out. Capricorns, of course, yeah, all the earth signs. You guys are very good at this. And I would actually recommend in your life, if you do need to deal with needing to get a grip on like a sense of material safety, even if it's just understanding, have a conversation with an earth sign, mostly Capricorns. I've said this before, they are winning right now. I don't know, the Saturnian energy and the work that you all put into like your earthly investments, Capricorns and Tauruses in particular, materially, I've never seen anything like it, like the pattern of it in my life in real time. Looking for a more sustaining way of life. Yeah. Changing your attitude to money and to life in general, reworking your attitude to money will change the way that you understand life and energy. There are lots of things. Maybe look into specifically, I don't know how you could gather all of this information, or if anybody's done a piece on it or something, but look into the characteristics of extremely rich people. What I've noted is not always, but the common thread, or maybe specifically in Nepo babies, yeah, the common thread is what can I say? A willing surrender of life. Kind of really eccentric perceptions about life where there's no box because there's no box, you know. There's no limit, there's no scarcity mindset whatsoever. I also saw a video, I don't remember who was referencing this, but they were talking about how Steve Jobs didn't have any technology in his home, and for his children would go out of his way to maintain open-minded thinking by making sure they have philosophical conversations, or conversations about art, thoughtful, curious conversations, you know? So then following that, try to adapt that way of thinking in your own life or for your own self, which is to say, try your best to release this. Try your best to unfold or unwork. Leave survival mode. It's very difficult if you are living a reality of survival mode. It is so difficult to unbind this kind of cycle, especially when it comes to money. Yeah. But it's extremely doable, and you will be surprised how willing your universe is to hold you and to catch you in every moment, actually. You'll be surprised by how lucky you are. This, I'm sure I've mentioned before, considering how many times it's fallen out. I'm saying again, this is a card of good fortune, fate, the giant cosmic wheel turning and clicking in exactly the right place. So lots of fated coincidences. Miracles. Miracles. The state of surrender begets, I hope I'm using that word right. The state of surrender begets a miracle. You are surrendered. So you are fully immersed in the moment of potential where anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. One of the things that needs to happen is you need to stop thinking in lack. Release the what ifs. Delusion, but it's not delusion, right? It's not delusion. Sure, I'm reading for somebody who knows and understands at this point. Like, there's a fine line. There is a fine line between delusion and this game that we're playing. But we are on the side of it's truth. It's not delusion. So getting the sense of like, I'm getting that line. Sorry, I'm trying to find the exact words for delivery. You think that you need to see it first to believe it, while the universe is challenging you to believe it first and then see it. And not just believe it, know it. Quantum physics, man. It's literally there. It's a fact that if you want something and you hold it in your mind and you get into the sensations of it and you release all of the blocking doubts that once you decide you want something, you click onto the path in which it is already there. All the doubts and the, oof, what if it doesn't happen? Do I even deserve this? Whatever else, the cringe, the constrictions, all the about your dream coming true is your senses. I look at it this way in order to keep focused on the science of what I'm doing. Your senses, the doubt and stuff, that's your awareness tapping into the other. That's your awareness tapping into the other possibilities in which your dream isn't happening. But you've already chosen the path where your dream is happening. So, yeah, for me, looking at it like that makes it adds a little bit of logic to the divinity concept. Because yeah, well, I yap all about it and I'm very passionate about it, but I'm honestly not always tapped into this. It's very difficult to hold, especially during this collective phase. This is a collective frequency, you know? There's so much panic in the air right now about where the future is going to go. So many individual people thinking the same thought process of, oh my God, how am I going to survive? Sorry, I just got a notification for something. Okay, I'm going to continue on. Hopefully, it's just notified me that there's no longer any space to record. So I'm hoping that when I'm done streaming, this stays on YouTube, but we shall see. Anyway, there's so many people having similar collective thoughts of how will I survive? More particularly, how will my dreams of a comfortable life come true in this kind of world, in this kind of setup with this kind of frequency? No, good question. How? It won't. If you are in this lack frequency, if you are constantly, if all of your energetic attention, if you feel most enthralled by the thought of survival and by this panic and lack, then naturally you will manifest more of it. Fine, it's very difficult to think outside of this if it's happening in your life. At the very least, then, try to surrender and remain neutral as possible. I think that state looks very different to many people. It's very personal. So you will know, you will tap in. You just need to really work to find your center here. It's let's shuffle more and see what the solution could be actually before I continue. Good omen after good omen is truly brilliant. Like the fact that the wheel has showed up so many times in collective and personal readings for me is so, so beautiful and so supportive of the fact that regardless of this or whatever challenges, whatever, things are, God is real. And we are all deeply supported by the loving force that brought us here. And the window is open for us to communicate and get feedback on that confirmation, Pray. And then while I was shuffling, I saw the Three of Cups again, and that appeared in the reading that I will link in the description of this video. And we have the Seven of Swords again. I love it. Okay, so first we had the Two of Swords, which speaks of what I was saying, the choosing, the idea of exercising your mental, using your brain, using your mind, and the processing power of it, the machine of it, to focus on this. Not so much the light. I'm not trying to ride a love and light wave. I'm more trying to encourage you to, at the very least, just tap into center, tap into self. Let me interpret before going on. Read the interpretation for the Hanged Man because, this is what we need to do. Follow your intuition, even if it flies in the face of accepted wisdom. Endure. Voluntarily sacrifice your conventional wisdom to gain self-knowledge. Evolution. Again, ascension, big ascension, ascending out of this. This is also very root chakra. Red and orange, the bottom of your torso. So consider doing work on that or meditating with what? Frequency tones that have to do with healing the root chakra. You're going through a rebirth, finding a sense of freedom, cut ties. There will be peace and resolution. You will have a feeling of oneness with the universe. You are healing ancient wounds, very ancient wounds, especially if you come from a brown skin bloodline. Put yourself outside normal boundaries, which I think will very naturally come with these. I think the normal boundary reference here is your normal boundary of lack, fear, negativity. Things won't work out. I can't dream that big. That's not for me. I could never is also one. That judgmental, it could never be me. Yeah, I've really been humbled by that statement. Every single time I've used that statement, it could never be me. A few years later, God shows me exactly how the fuck it could be me. It's crazy. What else? I'm getting the frequency of like choosing to stay in so that you can save money, choosing option A instead of option B because option A is 45 Rand cheaper. Like we have to like, just so you're aware as well, guys. I know, so again, I understand this frequency is very difficult when you are faced the reality of it. And there's only so much namaste you can give to a system that is intentionally built to fuck with you in this way. You know what I mean? However, I'm talking from the plane of miracles, okay? From God's eye view. It is really unbecoming to be so shifted by that kind of price difference, just as an example. You know what I mean? Do you want money to control you like that? You've effectively changed your mind because of money, because of the price of something, because of an inanimate object, a perceived inanimate object, right? That is just following a flow of energy. It's following your will, your willingness. There are so many stories of people praying or doing money spells or using affirming subliminals of, I am abundant, I have everything I need, da 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 da. And then shortly after, they receive a random cash injection, Plenty of stories. That I'm sure that's happened to you. That happens to me plenty of times. We are very aware of the flow of the material world and how it's influenced by our internal spiritual energetic world. We have to start being, and this is energy I've revisited so many times this year. We're not taking God seriously enough. We're not taking the miracles seriously enough. And we are in the window to do so right now, or whenever it is that you're watching this. So it has to happen. It has to keep going. My mind is trailing off to whether or not this will be saved on YouTube. I really hope it will be. We touched on the Seven of Swords already. Again, referencing a period of discernment, no particular fast movement, lots of subconscious inner work right now. Facing this major frequency, incredibly difficult to unpack because, especially if it's ingrained behavior, this is a generational thing we're working through. So it also comes in the form of a daughter being discouraged from receiving things that are too expensive from her mom, or but I don't think that's actually a problem in this generation or this day and age. I think this is mostly a problem with millennials. We really struggle with receiving, and a sense of feeling deserving, feeling like we always need to prove something. The idea of suffering for something good. Everything good comes with a little bit of suffering, that thing. Could be spiritually true, but anyway, another topic for another day. Point is, it's all up to you. I also love referencing this image for how this person is defensive towards a body of light, a source of light that they don't know much about, but they're so defensive about it. What if this is love? What if this is God? Why are you but this also specifically speaks of using the intellect. So mind reprogramming, big intellect work. Subliminals, again, the affirmations, listening to them before bed, playing them as you go to sleep, working on your inner mind thoughts. Just stop thinking this shit, man. Stop thinking that there's not enough, or that there's or that things are not going to work out. Why wouldn't they work out? There's no telling what will happen. You don't know the future. The probability of things not working out is equally as likely of things is equally as likely that things do work out, because you don't know, right? So it's more like 50-50, you know? Because we don't know. So we may as well choose to believe that things are going to work out. We may as well choose to believe and think that things are going to work out. However, it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of intentional debugging from you. Meditation, consider that, but specifically with meditation, with setting an intention beforehand. So go in saying, I intend on working through my shame frequency, or understanding why it is that I'm living in lack, or finding answers about what to do to deal with these lack frequencies. And then often with that, don't expect an answer right away. Even if by the time you are done meditating, you still don't receive an answer, it's highly likely, especially with the presence of the divine right now in all of our lives, that this will unfold on its own. You may not get the answer now, but as the days go by, you'll suddenly bump into it, or you'll realize after the fact that, oh shit, I actually just healed through something, you know, by having intentional thoughts about something, because that's also a healing thing. Just putting awareness on something heals it. Our awareness is very powerful. Your awareness is very, very powerful. Extremely powerful. The Emperor at the bottom of the deck. I think that's where I'll end it. Love the presence of divinity. Loving the fated, the very obvious, this is a fated time messaging across this reading and previous ones that I've done, especially with the presence of the wheel. Also really grateful that the wheel is showing up so often in upright, while we are ending 2025, when this card in reverse is what I received at the beginning of 2025. So, and I'd said in the reading, I'll link it if you're interested, that what is happening during this year is we are turning the wheel right side up. I'm also receiving as well, oh my God, because it's Mercury retrograde season, right? So lots of like past relationships and, you know, friendships and shit. Lots of past things are coming back. Please be aware that it's highly likely that those things are coming back to challenge the sense within you, because you may be in a state of thinking that these things revisiting, oh, it's not going to work out. Gag is that it really just might, it really the fuck might, like for real, in a really exciting way, in a way that's so surprising and like, whoa. God really works. That's something you're going to really learn right now and see that God works, and God works over a span of, God can work over a span of fucking like 10 years, man. 10 years can like 10, oh God, I don't even know. Point is, you don't know, okay? Lots of surprises coming out right now. Externally, your only job is to work internally, rewire this, and then allow the abundance, blessings, beautiful coincidences, really magical miracle moments to unfold. Be open, yes, to past connections. Be open to them. Don't be immediately closed off. Obviously, not all of them works past of the past, but some of them are here as a lesson, and some of them are here as a gift. Although with this, I must say I'm largely receiving, though, that they're here as a lesson, but a lesson that you need to learn that won't be painful, because it honestly feels like you've been through enough. Yeah, that is where I'll end it. Thank you so, so much for watching and for being alive, and for doing this journey with, like, I'm so grateful we're doing this together. We are at a really pivotal point in our journey, very exciting. And I hope that you can be open to receive absolutely anything. I've said this actually in the previous reading. I hope you're open to receive everything about this. It's a really wonderful, very fascinating, miraculous time to be alive right now. It's really only up. I'm really grateful for you. All my love to you, and I will see you in the next reading.